Are you okay with that?
I think every soul should pay for what he's done.
But Sahih Muslim, we read 66, 65, 66, 66.
Yeah, I don't agree with that hadith.
So you don't agree with Muhammad. Astaghfirullah Rabbil Alameen. That means you are a kafir. You just denied Islam, but it was predestined for you.
No, I didn't deny Islam.
Anyone who rejects, anyone who rejects any hadith of the Prophet, any statement of the Prophet, and doesn't submit to it, he is now a kafir, a munafiq, an unbeliever, a hypocrite. That's Surah An-Nisa, chapter 4, verse 65. You just said, I don't agree with the sound hadith of your Prophet. You are now a kafir,
you believe it?
munafiq.
Isa's coming back.
What does that got to do with you rejecting what your Prophet said and not submitting to it?
So, as I said, when Isa comes back, things that are unclear to us will be made clear when him and
what does that got to do with you rejecting Sahih Muslim? You just said, I don't accept it. You just rejected sound.
My friend, many scholars who graduated from Al-Azhar University in Egypt reject Sahih Muslim and Sahih Bukhari, some stuff.
What?
So just because you reject those some hadiths,
can you show me? Can you show me the history? Hold on. Show me the history of Sunni Islam. Show me the Muslim scholars like Ibn Kathir, Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, and the others that rejected these hadiths that I cited. I know Muslims today reject them, they're embarrassed. The Muslims today reject them, they're embarrassed. But the Muslims that were dominant and had the upper hand and had subjugated people and their lands when they were not embarrassed and ashamed of their deen. Can you show me where Ibn Taymiyyah says these hadiths we reject? Where Ibn Kathir says these hadiths we reject? Can you show me them rejecting these hadiths?
I haven't heard of them rejecting them.
Exactly, because it's a modern invention where Muslims like Shabir Ali and others, they're so embarrassed and humiliated by their deen. Now they're explaining it away or rejecting them. But if they're living at the time of these shuyukh, mashayikh, and these ulama, they would have been killed. They would have been killed. You get it? So do you want me to read the hadith? You want me to read the hadith where your Prophet said, you can commit zina, adultery, and steal, but if you die saying shahada, you still go to paradise. So it's your Prophet that gave you the license to live like a pig. But don't worry, die saying shahada from your heart, you will enter Jannah, inshallah. Can I read it for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let me get it for you. Hold on.
But that kind of goes against your
No, it doesn't. I just explained
predestination to be,
no,
to be
I
a
just
Muslim,
explained
to be
it.
a Muslim, but it goes against.
I just
it goes
explained
against
it.
what you said about not all Muslims.
I just explained it. I just explained it. Let me explain it one more time before I read the hadith. Okay.
Okay.
Can I explain it before you interrupt me? Let me explain.
Say shahada because Allah predestined.
Yes.
Is what
Allah predestined.
But not all Muslims will end up in heaven.
According to
what you said.
According to the hadith, every Muslim that's in hell that said shahada will come out. That's the point. Any Muslim,
then all the Muslims will go to heaven.
That's if they say shahada from their heart. But how do you know Allah hasn't predestined you to turn away from Islam and become a Hindu? Yeah, some Muslims become Hindu, Buddhist, atheist, agnostic. What do you mean? What are you laughing at? So what if Allah predestined you to become an atheist and you die an atheist? Then you straight to hell and you stay there, buddy. Okay, can I now read the hadith? Here it is. So here it goes. Okay, here's the hadith for you, buddy. Here it is. You ready? And
I don't agree with these hadiths.
You don't agree with Bukhari and Muslim?
Not if this is what they're saying.
Okay, then you are now a kafir, an unbeliever, munafiq, a hypocrite. You're done. You're not a Muslim. You're done. Good job.
That's according to you.
No, that's according to Sunni Islam. Abu Musa reported that Allah's messenger said, when it will be the day of resurrection, Allah would deliver to every Muslim, a Jew or a Christian, and say, that is your rescue from hellfire. Are you okay with this?
Yeah, this doesn't really make sense to me.
So Allah's going to rescue you, jihad, by sending a Christian like Tatiana to hell to suffer for your sins. Can I read the other one? Sahih Muslim, number 6666. 6666, which in our Bible is the number of Shaitan, the Antichrist. Here, let me get you the link. Can I read this one too? Okay, you ready? Can I read it? Yes or no? Can I read it for you or no? Okay, let me read it because you're not.
Yeah, read it.
Okay. Abu Burda reported on the authority of his father.
No Muslim would die, but Allah would admit in his stead a Jew or a Christian in hellfire.
Wow.
Umar bin Abdul Aziz took in by one besides whom there is no God, but he thrice that his father had narrated that to him from Allah's messenger.
Okay. Now the final one, Sahih Muslim 6668. God created Adam when he created him and struck his right shoulder and brought forth his offspring white like small ants, white. And he struck his left shoulder and brought forth his offspring black as though they were charcoal. Then he said to the party on his right, that's the white, to paradise, and I do not care. And he said to the party in his left shoulder, to hell, I do not care. So here you have an isnad Hassan, Mashkat al-Masabi. Your prophet said, when Allah created Adam, he struck his right shoulder, brought his offspring like white ants, and he said, you to paradise. He struck his left shoulder and he brought out his offspring like black ants, and he said, you black ants to hell, and I don't care. Are you okay with that?
So is this about predestination?
Yes.
Or is this about
predestination?
Right.
And somehow black is always evil in Islam, but predestination, even before they existed, Allah said
black is always evil in every context.
no, you ain't gonna find it. You're not gonna find black-skinned people said they're destined for hell, or that a black man from Ethiopia with skinny legs is gonna destroy the Kaaba, or a dream of a black woman.
No, I mean, if you're, like if we're talking about, this is not just.
Okay, focus on the fact, on decree. Are you okay with Allah already creating people for heaven and hell while they were still in the back of Adam, in his loins?
Well, not everybody can go to heaven, Sam.
That's not my point. Allah already created them to go to hell. That had nothing to do with them.
Yeah, I have to check about this.
Then we shall pluck forth from every party whichever of them was the most hardened in disdain of the All-Merciful. Now watch this. Then we shall know very well those most deserving to burn there. Not one of you there is, not one of you there is, but he shall go down to it, shall go down to it. There shall be none of you but shall descend into the same. That for thy Lord is a thing decreed, determined. Then we shall deliver those that were God-fearing, and the evildoers we shall leave there hobbling on their knees. So notice what it said. There's not a single person of you that will not go down and enter into hell, and then we're only going to take out the God-fearing, and we're going to leave the evildoers there.
So everybody goes to hell, and then some people get pulled out?
Yeah, so are you guaranteed you're going to get pulled out?
No.
So you're okay not knowing that you're going to come out, but you're going to go to hell, guaranteed?
But maybe that's the greater context behind predestination.
Predestination is...
goes to hell.
No. Allah predestines... No, so you're not getting it. Allah predestines who will stay in hell forever and who will come out, and has nothing to do with your choice.
Okay.
So are you okay though? Not knowing whether you're going to come out? You're guaranteed you're going to hell, but you're not guaranteed of coming out.
Well, under free will, nobody's guaranteed.
What free will? You're eating food and having conversation with me. I came to the Prophet while he was wearing white clothes and sleeping. Then I went back to him again after he had got up from his sleep. He said, nobody says, none has the right to be worshipped but Allah. And then later on, he dies. Why believing in that? Except that he will enter paradise. I said, listen to this, even if he had committed illegal sexual intercourse and theft, zina and theft, he said, even if he had committed illegal sexual intercourse and theft. I said, even if he had committed illegal sexual intercourse and theft, he said, even if he had committed illegal sexual intercourse and theft. We lost this guy. Are you still there, Jihad? Nope. Yeah, he's still there, but we lost his connection. Let me read it for the rest of you. I said, even if you had committed illegal sexual intercourse and theft, he said, even if you had committed illegal sexual intercourse and theft, in spite of Abu Dhar's dislike. So Abu Dhar was so shocked, he repeated it more than once. Wait. Even if we commit zina, adultery, sexual immorality, and thievery? Yes. Even if they do it, whether you like it or not. That's what Muhammad said. So which religion promotes cheap grace, that all you need to say is shahada, live like the pig, like a devil, but if you die saying shahada, it's like Monopoly. Get out of jail free card.
I just wanted to tell you that, in Surah Maryam where it says everyone has to go to hell something.
What is 19? Surah Maryam, 1971, 72.
Yeah, in that it talks about actually not the hell, but, a bridge over hell.
No, actually, that's not in the ayah. Show me in the Quran where it says Sirat, the bridge. Where is it? Shar, do me a favor, please. It's not I want to debate you. Open your Quran. Show me in the Quran where the bridge Sirat is mentioned. Because now I'm going to show you statements from your prophet and the scholars that says, no, this does mean they enter hell. Okay. I'll show it to you. But first you said, so everyone understand, let me repeat what he said. He said that according to chapter 19, 71 and 72, it says that the Muslims won't enter hell. They're going to cross a bridge that's over hell. It's called sirat in the hadith. Now, do me a favor, open up your Quran, read 1971-72. Can you show me where the bridge is mentioned?
And there is none of you except he will come to it. This is upon your Lord and inevitability decreed. Then we will save those who feared Allah and leave the wrongdoers within it on their knees.
Okay, so my question to you, where do you find the bridge there when it says there'll be people in hell who'll stay there? If this is referring to the bridge, that means everyone is going over the bridge. Then how do you explain verse 72 where it says we're going to leave them there hobbling on their knees? So he's going to leave them on the bridge?
Yeah, from the bridge they will fall into hell, right?
Where does it say from the bridge they're falling into hell? So you're adding stuff.
But this is what I can understand, because no Muslim can go into hell, obviously.
Because you think the Quran is true and it's not full of contradictions. But then what do you do with the hadith where your prophet will pray to take Muslims out of hell?
Yeah, those are the Muslims whose sins outweighed their good deeds.
But you said no Muslim goes to hell. Now you're saying, yeah, Muslims do go to hell. So which is it? No Muslim goes, or there are Muslims who go?
I'm sorry, that was wrong. I meant not all Muslims will go to hell.
Sure. Where does the Quran say not all Muslims in that ayah that you read?
Because in this ayah, obviously I assume that this ayah is talking about the bridge.
Okay, you assumed, right? But it's not there, is it?
Yeah, it's not there.
If I read to you the Mufassirin, if I read Tabari, Qurtubi, and Ibn Kathir, they mention the different interpretations of this ayat. One of them says people do go to hell, but they don't know if they're going to come out.
Oh, what the other two say?
Some argue like you, it's a bridge. Some say go there, but the fire won't affect them. So the Muslims are confused because like you, they're having a hard time. How can the Quran say Muslims go to hell when we are protected from the fire, and there are traditions say we go over the bridge, sirat? So they're confused because the Quran and the hadiths are full of confusion. So you have one view that says, yeah, they'll go to hell, but the fire won't harm them. So they are going to hell. Another view says, no, they go over the bridge. But the going over the bridge is not in the ayah. So the view of the Muslims, say it again.
It's not in the ayah, but I think it's understandable for Muslims because Allah says He will save Muslims, right?
Say what again?
Allah says He will save us who fear Him.
Okay, but that doesn't mean He saves you by preventing you from going to hell. You go to hell and He saves you by taking you out. That's the point of the ayah. Why?
Because I'm one. No one can be like me.
Say what?
He said, I'm one. None is like me.
Okay, so what does Him being one, none like Him, have to do with not having a son?
Because no one can be like Him.
What has that got to do with having a son? That doesn't make sense because no one's like your father. You're the son of your father, right?
Yeah.
But you're not like your father. What has that got to do with anything?
But see, we are humans. There can be another copy of us. It's God.
Okay, so let's go with what you said. So human beings, they can have sons, but Allah, because He's not human, He cannot have a son. But the Quran has a mother. Is the Quran human?
Oh, I know.
Man, I got you, man.
I did this last time too.
Okay, so is the Quran human because it has a mother? Can you explain to me Kitab?
Oh, Kitab. I know it says mother of the book.
Why?
I think it means status.
Okay, so why can't God be the father to Jesus in status? Why does it mean that if God is the father of Jesus, it means He's like humans? See, you just answered yourself.
You see, the reason why I can't believe that, because I find, oneness of God very beautiful, and how Jesus spoke in the Quran, how beautifully in Surah Maryam, Maryam Salamullahi alayha says, look at him, the baby, and he spoke while he was a baby. All these beautiful things I love about him.
But the problem, Shah, I have a problem with it. You're saying to me, you can't accept that Jesus is a son of God. Why again?
Yeah.
Why?
Because Allah said it's not befitting for His majesty.
And why is it not befitting? Because He's one? But you confused me. If Allah is one,
there is none like Him. That's
okay. Okay, if there's none like Him and Allah is one, and if He's one, He can't have a son, then how can you believe the Quran is eternal and it's a book and it's not Allah, but there's one Allah? Explain that to me.
These are His words, right? These are from Him.
Okay, but if it's His words, is the Quran Allah?
The Quran is a part of Allah, not
Allah.
Good.
It's a part of Allah. So a part of Allah became a book and you can touch it because the Quran is a kitab. So Allah became a book, part of Him.
Oh my God.
No, that's what you said, man. I'm going by your words.
Look, I'm not that smart to answer that kind of question.
Oh, man. No scholar can answer. They say billah qaif. It's billah qaif, meaning we don't understand, we don't know. Billah qaif. That was the expression the the ulama came up with, right? According to Allah, it makes sense to Allah. We don't know. We don't understand, but we affirm it. So why is it when it comes to something you believe, you can't understand, you don't know how to explain it, but you still accept it? But when it comes to Jesus being God's son, doesn't make sense to you because God is one, he can't have a son. So why, when it comes to Islam, things don't make sense, doesn't mean it's not true. Comes to Christianity.
I fear the words of the Quran.
That's
Allah
the real
says,
reason. Say it again.
Don't do shit.
Okay, that's the real reason. I want people to hear the real reason. It's because you believe the Quran is the word of Allah and you're afraid to say Jesus is God's son because that means you commit shirk, you're going to go to hell.
That is where the biggest blasphemy a person can do against God.
See, so your real reason is you are attached to the Quran and you have a fear that if the Quran is true, you're going to go to hell. That's the real reason. So we pray for you that God destroys your fear. No, really, because fear is not a good reason to believe anything, because there are now hundreds of thousands of Muslims in Muslim countries that are Muslim by name because of fear. In their heart, they hate Allah, they hate Muhammad, they don't practice the deen, but they can't say it because they're afraid they'll be killed. Is that a good reason to believe in anything because of fear?
Yeah, I mean, those are not really Muslims, right? Those
Exactly.
But
because of
I
fear.
am a real Muslim. I also believe Allah is my Lord. I love him.
Oh, wait, hold on. You love him? What has he done for you to show you that he loves you? Don't quote to me stories in the Quran that are in the Bible, because the God of the Bible is different. What did Allah do for you to show you he loves you?